there are significant percentage of the population of rural households who do not have any debt, who don't have anybody to meet their credit requirements, not even the informal sector. And then you might say that 49% of the population or the rural households are actually indebted. And within that, 27% are from the informal system and 22% from the formal system.
माझं घर पडलं आहे तर बँकेत जर मला मदत करत असली तर मी माझं घर बांधू शकतो.
जसं आम्हाला बँकेनं कर्ज दिलं तर आम्ही पापडाचा धंदा करू, आम्ही पण करू, 4 महिला बसू, 4 महिलाला पण तेच आम्ही पापडाचा धंदा करू, त्याला पण करायला लावू, त्याला रोजगार आम्ही देऊ.
मैं किसान हूँ. खाद बीज ये लेने के लिए कभी कभी साहूकार से कर्ज लेना पड़ता है, लोन लेना पड़ता है. अगर बैंक हमें मदद करे तो साहूकार से हमारा पीछे छूट सकता है.
We want all financial services to be made available and accessible to all people in a high quality at low cost.
You may call it a financial inclusion or you may call it no-frill account. The basic purpose is that in a country like India where population is about 100 crores, still many people have not been able to reach the banking sector. So the banking sector must be available to those who have not been able to have access to the banks.
There it is a much wider issue of livelihood, synergy between infrastructure, law and order, all the kind of things which lead to economic and social development. So that canvas is really much larger in terms of financial inclusion. But what the Reserve Bank has been trying to do in the recent period has been to emphasize the fact that by providing a basic banking account to all households, at least you are getting them into the banking system, and then in order to induce them to actually want to have a bank account, then maybe you give some kind of a limited overdraft facility or a kind of a generalized credit card similar to what people in the urban areas get.
Last 5 years we have succeeded in building a microfinance to the extent of financing almost 500,000 self-help groups, more than 70 lakh beneficiaries throughout the country, total lending exceeding around 1,800 crores today.
These people who were not even deemed as credit-worthy have now formed themselves into groups and in many cases are accessing bank credit and improving their lot through the use of credit. They are people in control of their destiny.
लोन लिया बैंक से 70,000, इसमें हमने बुरुस खरीदी, बुरुस 5 रुपए में 6 रुपए में पड़ जाती है, हमने 7-8 में बेच दी, 70-80 रुपए की हमने.
Credit is just one of the inputs. The underlying problem is really of agricultural production and productivity. And there you have various issues. One is, of course, the natural disasters. Now, natural disasters we say, but sometimes we have to ask ourselves, are we even responsible for that? Have we degraded the soil so much by overuse of fertilizers? Are we looking at use of land use and water use in a more long-term sustainable manner?
There are a variety of governmental interventions in the field of watershed. Most of these interventions are in the nature of the state doing something for the farmer. My personal view is that any intervention which does not involve the people of the community as owners of the asset is not likely to be sustainable.
50 रुपये बचत भरल्यावर आम्ही 6 महिन्यानंतर बँक मध्ये कर्ज मागितलं, मग त्यांनी आम्हाला 25,000 रुपये कर्ज दिलं. आम्ही एक बकऱ्या घेतल्या, 10 महिलांनी 10 बकऱ्या घेतल्या, 10 महिलाच्या आता 4 बकऱ्या एकेकडे, मग 1 महिन्याला एक जणीला 1000 रुपये मिळतात आम्हाला.
The other aspect is price protection I was talking about. I said if onion prices suddenly crash, if cotton prices suddenly crash, then how do you expect the credit system to really be able to respond to it fully? Then you're talking about quality inputs. If it's poor quality inputs that is being supplied, or if there is no sort of regulation over the kind of distribution of seeds, fertilizers, plus the counseling.
The marketing is still the greatest the problem for the rural poor. You produce the things, because we still depend on not the irrigated thing. It's a sort of a natural only resources which the farmers are looking for. So the rain-fed areas and the non-rain-fed areas, still there is a lot of differentiation is there.
So the whole process and the value chain that we were talking about, the supply chain management, right from godowns and warehouses and storage and so on and so forth, has to ensure that the price realization to the farmer is much better than what it is. We were talking about, I remember, the 2 rupees a kilo vegetables at Ranchi, which sells in Calcutta at 40 rupees. So how do you really bridge that kind of variation? So I think we need to really look at it holistically.
फायदा ये है सर, जैसे पास की मंडी में रेट तेज है तो चलो गाड़ी वहाँ भेज दी कभी, अगर वहाँ दूसरी जगह डाउन है तो वहाँ से मंगा भी ली, ये रेट सारे मिल जाते हैं यहाँ से।
यहाँ सब्जी लागि भाउ सोध्नु लागि म खेतीवाला हो, अब त्यो त जान्न मै नै आइरहन्छु, कसरी हो के हो त्यति लागि म आउँछु।
What is going to be the key factor is how are you going to reduce your cost of operations, and how are we going to use technology to be able to do extensive volumes while maintaining the integrity and the confidence of the financial system. Because people should feel comfortable with that technology. It's easy to talk about technology, but the acceptance of it is equally a capacity building issue that you raised. So you need to be able to make people ready to receive that technology, which is going to really enable banks to cut down on costs.
What we have been focusing all along, or more on the metro centers and the urban centers, there is a lot of scope to extend the technology. So why not we make these rural population use those kind of technology? The point is, even if it is going to be a little cost to be the bankers, I think that could be still spread across to the rural poor. Because one is the ease with which these people can absorb those kind of things.
The quality of services will improve, the cost will come down. And I think a quantum jump is certainly possible, given the recent success with regard to the telecommunications very clearly shows that it is possible.